As we come up on 4 o'clock on this Monday afternoon, things have changed, and they've changed suddenly. This was forecast, but all of a sudden you see the very dark clouds and some rain, depending on where you are in the Denver metro area. Denver itself has not seen a terrific amount of rain, but some areas to the south have seen quite a bit in very short order.
So let's get you straight to Kathy Sabin, who is just tracking all of this weather, and it's dumping in some places right now.
I know a lot of you might be thinking it's about time, but you know what? For many of us, it's going to be too much of a good thing. Some of these slow-moving storms have already dropped 2 inches of rain, creating flash flooding in areas like Highlands Ranch, Sedalia, Parker, Centennial. And yeah, as Tom mentioned, traffic is moving through the metro area okay, but we're not done. We have hours and hours to go yet with more rain coming. Beneficial moisture, but too much of a good thing in many areas, and we're going to continue to see the potential for that street flooding and mudslide conditions in the high country. The other piece of the story, cooler weather. If you had it with the heat last week, the mid to upper 90s for just day after day. 84 in Denver today. We're down to 81 now, 66 in Fort Collins, 73 in Kremling, 69 in Steamboat, and almost 70 in Greeley. Tropical plume of moisture finally shifting east around the backside of that dominant high pressure ridge. And as it moves away, the showers are allowed to track east. Severe thunderstorm warning for Douglas County, Arapahoe County, and portions of Elbert County until 4:30. Slow moving thunderstorms have already dropped 2 inches of rain around Sedalia. Flash flood warning in the Magenta area through 6:15, including Castle Rock. Severe thunderstorm warning Parker out to Byers, Aurora. Some of you calling in and writing into me, it looks like tornado type clouds out there. Really heavy rain and hail will be your biggest threat as these storms move toward the northeast. Flooding rainfall will be something we'll be dealing with between now and midnight. And then we're going to do this all over again tomorrow on saturated soils. The brunt of the system extends from Aurora down through Centennial, Highlands Ranch, Parker, and the Pinery. Moving northeast, so Bennett, Byers, Strasburg, you're next in line here. And down to the south, Elizabeth in a severe thunderstorm warning area. Through 4:15, this is the Futurecast modeling showing how those storms will slowly move out. We get a break about 8 o'clock and then another round of showers over the South Metro around midnight. We get a break overnight, and then we're going to do this all over again tomorrow. So plan ahead, be prepared for these conditions. Once the soils are saturated, that water has nowhere to go. And so if you're prone to flooding, you need to be mindful of that. And remember, turn around, don't drown. If you don't know how deep that water is, don't walk through it, don't ride your bike through it, and certainly don't drive through it. An inch or two of rain can displace an SUV when that water starts to rise quickly. Coming up, heavy rain likely tonight. We're tracking mountain storms, and we have cooler weather coming in August. All that just ahead.
A very busy afternoon for watches and warnings, and we're talking about a ground stop out at the airport because of some of the conditions out there as well. All that information is coming up. Firsthand, though, meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen has been out and about in the metro area, keeping an eye out for some of the flooding.
Yeah, we understand he's Centennial, where they've seen a lot of weather there already. Corey, what are you seeing?
Well, guys, we are seeing still a little bit of rain. It came in pretty hot and heavy here for a little while, and it's just starting to lighten up now. But when it was coming down heavy, it was 2 to 2.5 inches in about a 45-minute period. You can see the water starting to recede here. Now, this was covering my ankles not too long ago, and it was moving really quick. This road here goes underneath C470 here in Centennial off of County Line Road. This is Acres Green. The Lone Tree Police actually had to come by here and shut this down. That's how deep the water was in this road. But it's really a tribute to how these storm drains have been working out here. You can see the water going down the drain right there. That has receded quickly, really, since we've just been here for about 15 minutes. That water level has gone down, the speed of the water has gone down, and this lane is back open. But we're hearing emergency vehicles off in the distance, and there is more rain coming down. This system's kind of moved off to the east of here, so we'll continue to track that and see if there's anything more than just street flooding out here in the Centennial, Lone Tree, and East Aurora area.
We're going to have much more on the weather. Here's some of the news of the day, though. We're following this developing story from Greeley right now. We've learned that just before noon, 2 students got into a fight at Jefferson High School there, and during that fight, One student was stabbed several times. Now, we don't know their condition, but are told that they are expected to survive. As far as the suspect, that person was taken into custody and will be charged with first-degree assault as well as other charges. In Colorado Springs today, hundreds gathered to remember El Paso County Sheriff's Deputy Andrew Peary. Peary died on August 7th after deputies responded to a report of shots fired. He was a 6-year veteran of the Sheriff's Office and had also worked as an officer with the Bakersfield Police Department.
As we celebrate and remember Deputy Andrew Peary, I see that he hit all those marks. He lived well, and his life made a difference. It was clear that for Andrew, service to others was a calling, a mission, one that he took seriously and dedicated his life to, and a calling that he ultimately gave his life for.
U.S. Army completing multiple combat tours in Iraq. He is now survived by his wife and 2 children.
Friends of a man killed in a Commerce City double homicide are hoping to get new tips that could lead to an arrest. Friends say Eric Sarmiento Rodriguez was one of 2 people killed in a parking lot on East 62nd Avenue near Vasquez Boulevard back in October. According to Commerce City PD, shortly after the shooting, a person of interest was identified, but police determined he had minimal involvement in the shooting. Since then, friends say there have been no updates. As they get closer to 1 year since his death, they hope that changes.
If you know anything, just reach out. That's all I'm asking, because I feel like he deserves his justice, and it's not fair that I feel like his case is just kind of forgotten.
We reached out to Commerce City Police Department for an update on this case, but we haven't heard back yet. The last they posted was back in November. They said they were still investigating.
Quite a scene in Lakewood where police continue to investigate why this happened. An RV crashing into a Winchell's donut shop at about 7:45 this morning. Police only saying at this point the driver of the RV lost control, crashing into the store. There were 3 people inside, including a customer who went to the hospital with serious injuries, along with the driver of the RV. Police say those injuries, though, are not life-threatening. Well, otherwise, it was a solid night for the Broncos on Saturday night, but there was this bad news on the second play of Saturday night's game. Starting inside linebacker Jonas Griffith suffered an elbow injury that hits an area where the Broncos were already a bit thinned. Well, now we're being joined by our Broncos insider, Mike Klis. And Mike, the team was addressing that issue specifically today.
Yes, they signed Joe Schobert. By the way, the Broncos got their practice in today. It was hot and sunny. They're going to have a tough time getting home in this monsoon that struck around Broncos headquarters and elsewhere, listening to your reports. But they signed Joe Schobert, who's a 6-year starter in the league with the Cleveland Browns, the Steelers last year. He moved to Denver a few years ago, and he was out there with the first team defense already on his first day today. So it looks like Joe Schobert and Josie Jewell are the Broncos starting linebackers now, with Jonas Griffith down.
Well, here we sit only 4 weeks away from the opener. It's 4 weeks from tonight, that Monday night game in Seattle. And now it looks like today the Broncos made it sound like they're expecting their big free agent signing on the defensive side of the ball, Randy Gregory, to be good to go for week 1, Mike.
Yeah, Randy Gregory was activated from the PUP, which is physically unable to perform list, and he was out there practicing with his position group, individual drills they call it, not quite cleared for contact and 11-on-11 football. And also offensive lineman Billy Turner, who probably will jump right to the front of the line at right tackle once he's healthy. Still a ways to go before with each player, but those are 2 projected starters for Seattle on September 12th, and it was kind of a big step forward for both of those players, Randy Gregory and Billy Turner, today.
And wearing number 5? It's interesting to see a defensive end wearing 5.
Yeah, they last year they let players wear their college numbers, and I don't remember Randy Gregory seeing him play too much at Nebraska, but he apparently wore number 5 at Nebraska, and that's his number with the Broncos.
Well, it's available this year. All right, Mike, we'll see you with more on the Broncos. A busy Monday out at Dove Valley. We'll see you with more at 5 o'clock. Thanks. Now, the Broncos will be back on the field, of course, on Saturday when they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. That kickoff is at 11 a.m. our time, but remember the pregame coverage begins right here at 10:30, and you can watch it all on Channel 20 and on 9 News Plus where available.
Much more to come. 2 big names might be testifying in Georgia this week over Georgia's 2020 election probe.
And one of those big names is apparently the target of that election probe. Those details are next. And NBC's American Ninja Warrior back tonight right here on 9 News. Today on the E Block, Erica will talk with a local contestant about his experience.
And give you another live look outside. We are tracking some severe weather, some flooding warnings. Kathy is tracking it all. We'll give you more updates after this.